Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a really fascinating intersection of artificial intelligence and digital publishing. Have you ever scrolled through digital storefronts, places like Amazon KDP or Etsy, and just wondered how some creators are effortlessly pumping out these high-quality, perfectly targeted children's books? Well, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to break down a highly specialized AI platform that's aiming to capture a massive, kind of hidden niche in the publishing world. We're going to see exactly how this targeted AI is completely changing the game for independent authors.
Now, to really understand the tool, we first have to understand the market itself. So what actually is the most overlooked niche in children's publishing right now? Look, most self-publishers today are either scraping for pennies selling low-content notebooks, which is tough, or they're trying to break into that incredibly saturated market of generic fairy tales and ABC books. But while the whole crowd is looking one way, there's a massive audience eagerly waiting in another direction entirely. Believe it or not, parents and young readers are actively hunting for thrillers, mysteries, and mildly spooky adventures.
And the data totally backs this up. I mean, just look at this staggering number, a 41.3% growth in sci-fi, fantasy, and horror book sales from 2023 to 2024. That is massive. Overall fiction sales are definitely booming, but this specific niche, the door is kicked wide open. Readers in the horror and mystery space are voracious. They're easily devouring 4 to 8 books a single month. But here's the catch. There is a huge gap. The number of hungry readers far, far exceeds the number of authors who can consistently pump out professional, age-appropriate spooky content. The visual proof straight from the marketplace is literally undeniable. Just look at these Amazon rankings. These aren't just dry, boring statistics. They are objective evidence of how fiercely readers are hunting for this specific type of content. You're seeing this relentless wave of mildly spooky, thrilling, and interactive titles just claiming prime real estate in the search results. While other publishers are hesitating, these titles are quietly flooding the virtual shelves. The demand is, without a doubt, off the charts. So you're probably asking, how do creators actually fill that demand? Well, let's compare the workflows for a second. The old publishing workflow is, frankly, notoriously slow and expensive. You might spend weeks just staring at a blank page, battling writer's block. Then you're shelling out maybe $500 to $1,000 to freelancers on Fiverr or Upwork just for a really thin manuscript and a couple of custom illustrations. And after all that, you're spending hours pulling your hair out, fighting with painful PDF formatting in Word or Canva. Now, contrast that with the new AI-assisted workflow. It's rapid, it's automated, and it's specifically designed to generate structured drafts and consistent illustrations in literally just a few minutes. Which brings us directly to the platform we're analyzing today, SpookyCraft. Now, this positions itself as an all-in-one AI-powered story studio. And to be clear, this isn't just some generic chatbot. It's a specialized AI engine trained specifically for that mildly spooky children's book niche we just talked about. It essentially promises to act as both your top-tier novelist and your professional illustrator, working right there inside your browser to help you build out a publishing portfolio without any of those traditional technical headaches. Okay, so how exactly does this platform build a complete book? The user journey is methodically broken down into 3 super simple steps. Step 1 is setting up your horror universe. This is where you punch in core details, stuff like the main character's name, the setting, their trusty companion, and you choose from some proven horror themes. Step 2 is customizing the actual scare level and the length of the book. And finally, step 3 is professional packaging and export. That's where the AI steps in, compiles your manuscript, the illustrations, and all the necessary commercial assets into one publish-ready file. Boom. Done. Now, a really crucial element here is how it handles tone. Look at this incredibly specific feature, the scare level slider. Honestly, this is brilliant, because writing horror for kids is a serious balancing act, right? If you want a bedtime story for a 5-year-old, you just select level 1, cozy spooky. But if you want a full-on thriller for a 13-year-old, you slide that all the way up to level 5, terrifyingly scary. The AI automatically adjusts the vocabulary and the intensity of the plot to perfectly match the age group. That guarantees you aren't going to get those dreaded 1-star reviews from angry parents because a book was either too terrifying or totally boring. And once the story and the art are generated, SpookyCraft doesn't just leave you hanging with some plain text file. No, it automatically generates the commercial assets you actually need to sell the book. It builds out a proper table of contents. It generates 3 interactive activity pages. Think stuff like draw your own ghost or custom word searches. And it even writes your book blurb for you. You literally just select your trim size like a standard KDP 6x9 inch or an A4, and it spits out a market-ready PDF. It's that simple. But let's be real for a second. Does it actually work in practice? Well, early user feedback is pretty telling. One user notes, and I quote, "The stories feel adventurous and mysterious in a fun children's way, not scary or disturbing." They specifically highlight that the characters look adorable, like they jumped right out of a high-quality storybook or a weekend cartoon. And that is absolutely vital for this target audience. Even though it's technically in the horror niche, it maintains that lighthearted, playful consistency. We're talking cute ghosts and magical houses, not anything truly traumatizing. Beyond just the tone, though, there's the sheer operational efficiency of it all. Another user pointed out that they tested creating a story, and within a few minutes, they already had a full draft with illustrations. They said it honestly felt like skipping weeks of work. By combining the story generation with those consistent 1024 by 768 pixel AI illustrations, you are completely bypassing the absolute most time-consuming bottlenecks of self-publishing. Plus, they noted that the targeted customization actually makes the output feel intentional, rather than just feeling like some random disjointed AI generation. And for digital storefront owners, the real magic happens in those extra details. The automatic generation of activity pages and proper formatting, that is a massive value add, particularly if you're on platforms like Etsy. Think about it. When you're selling printables or children's books, adding interactive elements like word detectives or drawing pages allows you to completely justify a higher price point. Not to mention, it significantly increases engagement with the young readers. It is a total win-win. So, let's quickly summarize exactly what this commercial offering actually looks like. SpookyCraft provides complete multi-chapter stories with twist endings, paired with consistent AI illustrations and proper KDP and Etsy formatting. But crucially, it includes full commercial rights. That means you keep 100% of your profits and your royalties. All of this is currently offered at a $27 one-time fee, which gives you 500 generation credits without locking you into any of those annoying, ongoing monthly software subscriptions. Which really leaves us with a fascinating, big-picture thought to chew on. As hyper-specialized platforms like SpookyCraft completely lower the barrier to entry, literally turning weeks of expensive, grueling labor into a few minutes of automated generation, what does the future of AI in creative publishing actually look like?